Let's go. This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and William Hill. Delighted to be catching up once again with Tyler Denny. How are you, mate? It's been a while, but how are you, mate?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm all good, man. I'm all good. Just keeping busy in the gym and picking over, waiting for a date to get confirmed.
100%. We'll get into that in a minute. But I think last time I saw you was Liam Davis. You obviously your stablemate Liam Davis beating Jason Cunningham emphatically in a
Yeah.
round. Just wanted to say, sort of, as we start off this topic, you see the way that Midlands boxing is going. How important is it that you're a part of it and you see how much it's thriving and it's in a great place at the moment?
Yeah, it's I think it's the best since I've turned professional, to be fair. There's more and more Midlands fighters every day, like, do you know what I mean? And bigger names, like you say, Liam Davis selling out Telford. Eni sells a lot of tickets, doesn't he? There was a show at Birmingham the weekend. It's good, man. He's healthy. And obviously Ben Whittaker as well. By the time he gets to like titles and stuff, which is only around the corner, it's going to be even better.
Definitely. And you see yourself when you see all the big promotions going there. We see obviously you fought on the Birmingham card when Boxer were there with Buatsi. And I'm sure you want a main event, you want a main event in the Midlands one day. On a big promotion, you see they're going to Telford and then Birmingham as well. And when you see all this stuff from when you first started as a pro, is it good to see the progression, as you said, when you first sort of turned pro?
Yeah, like I couldn't imagine it really when I first turned pro. So much local shows and that it was always you had to go to London or Manchester or something. But they're bringing big time boxing to the Midlands, and I'm all up for it, man. I'm all up for it. Hopefully, I could headline one day myself, like you're saying. That'd be even better. But I'm just happy, I'm happy for myself, and I'm happy for other people you've seen train hard and get the opportunities. Really, now, do you know what I mean? Everything's working. Everyone's working hard. It's all coming together.
Absolutely. Well, we'll get onto yourself. Obviously, you've seen the rumours, just seen what's out there for you next after beating McCauley McGowan, which was a European eliminator. You're next for Matteo Signani. How good is this now that you're finally getting sort of a European title shot? I know you would have wanted the British, but you've sort of got one step ahead in the European. So is it good to almost leapfrog that in a way and have a European title shot?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was happy to take the British, do you know what I mean? I just couldn't get a shot at it.
Yeah.
I did everything that I could, and by beating the people who I beat and put my name in the app for the British, but for one reason or another, it won't happen. So if we get this European title shot over the line, even better for me. So it's not. I did want the British, but I've seen the British as more of progressing. Do you know what I mean? As long as I'm progressing, I was sick of defending the English, really. So as long as I'm moving up the ladder, doing some sort of progression, then I'm happy, whatever it is. So hopefully this can get over the line, get announced soon, and crack on, man. Become the new year champion.
Is that the reason that you dropped the English belt? Obviously, that came out, and you've got former opponent Brad Pauls and Mitchell Frearson both fighting for it now. Was it to sort of you wanted to kick on now? You didn't really want to have that English title anymore.
To be honest, it's a funny story because I never even knew I vacated the English. But the way is, I thought I was going to get a British title shot, and then they put me in another eliminator against Kieran Conway. But this was like we already had the Birmingham show coming up and stuff, so we said no, we're not doing that. We've got our own thing. Do you know what I mean? And then because I've said no to that, next thing you know, so Tyler's vacated the English, and I thought, I won't bother anyway because I defended that many times. But I never knew that was the rules. But by turning down that British eliminator, they said I vacated it, but I probably got stripped really. But they said I don't know, but I want to ask anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it's better really. I thought McGowan, that was a tough fight for that belt, and that's why I want to get the European belt, man, because Liam Davis keeps taking the piss out the belt because he's got the proper one, and that one's called EEU, and all the lads in the gym take the piss out of it really. But it was a stepping stone, and I think that put me number 8 in Europe then. And so hopefully we can get this signed and sealed with Signani and move on.
And as you said, Signani as the opponent. We were meant to see him on the UK shores in April against Felix Cash. That didn't happen. You've been in there with so many tough operators. I think I looked today, 6 undefeated fighters in a row. McCauley McGowan had a very good record before going into fighting you. Another challenge for yourself. So and this on a really, really good stage for a really good belt. Is it good to get in out someone with Signani who's got, bags of experience?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, these are the fights I've been calling for. Do you know what I mean? I just keep getting I don't know if I'm meant to lose or what. I don't know, but I keep beating these people that put in with me. So I've been asking for these sort of fights, progression. I can't be more pleased than I can be. I'm buzzing with it, to be honest. And it's a fight I feel like I can win as well. It's not like I'm just going in there just to, give it a go. I truly believe I'll win the fight and get the European belt, man.
And as you said there, that'll put you number eight. But with this and pushing in a division like middleweight, where not only on a domestic level it's thriving and there's so many great middleweight talents. We see Hamza Shiraz fighting this Saturday, but on a world level, you see pushing through, having this belt and almost having you have a little bit of leverage with the belt. This will now really, people will have no choice but to fight you on big fights if they weren't doing so before.
Yeah, I'll throw my name in the hat, don't I? I'll be in the mix, man. And I'll take any fight, honestly. And the more lucrative, even better. But that's not the reason I take the fights. I take the fights just because I'm happy to fight these guys who think they can beat me. I think they can beat them. And, there's no hard feelings. You just go in there. And I think most people really, after I fought them, was like, I get on with them now. And now I talk to them every now and then. Do you know what I mean? So you get respect for each other. But I'm happy for these fights, man. And the European title, if you asked me like European title 2 years ago, I would have never even thought it was a possibility. It was only just a year ago in June, I won the English title against River. Yeah. And then since then, I've been fighting non-stop, keep winning, get some good names. So, without blowing my own trumpet, it's something I feel like I deserve this shot because I tried to get the British, like I said, and Bentley was fighting Morrison's and Kieran Smith and stuff. And I mean, it's not his fault. He got put towards him and the board and whatever. So, it's a bit frustrating, but I'm here now. Hopefully, it's not been announced or anything yet, but I'm hoping that's the fight I can get next.
Definitely. And you look now. You said that you've been calling for these fights, and does it feel better though? Because it's almost been the hard way. You look at the 7 opponents you had in a row. You fought Linus, River twice, Derek Ozaze, and then Brad Pauls, Brad Ray. There might be someone, obviously McCauley McGowan. That's a real tough. Like, there's definitely no layups in that at all. So having a long way round, this must be a good feeling as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I feel like I've deserved it, and it's mad. Like you say, when I've beat them guys and I still can't get a shot at the British. Sometimes you just have to let it go, man. I mean, just it's not meant to be. I don't think so. Move on, man. And this fight of dreams, man. Get this fight, and like I said, I think it's a winnable fight. Tough fight. The guy's not a European champion for no reason, but that's the plan. To put a good performance on, take his belt.
Did you feel like you saying there? I mean, I was always putting stuff on Twitter about we waiting years before you get a British title shot. It seemed like the most sensible thing to do, but it just didn't come. Did you feel a bit? Was there anger? Was it do you feel that you were being really overlooked in a way?
I wouldn't say anger. It's a bit frustration. But it's life, in it, really. I suppose you just crack on with it, and it's out of my control. So there's no point moaning too much. I think what's more annoying is, like the politics in boxing. So, for instance, Bentley's got the British, and then they put Hamza Shiraz as his mandatory, which you can't complain. He's a good fighter, Hamza Shiraz, but he's gone on record saying he's not fighting Bentley for the British. You know what I mean? So, but it's still been mandatory for that's probably like 3 months now. And say, for instance, Udofia's fighting Conway. I don't know, why call one of them fight Bentley, or if he's not going to defend it, does something. I don't know, man. Everything just held up. I know, like, obviously Frank Warren's got them both, but he's holding up the division, and I don't know if they're going to fight each other or what. I don't know. Well, Shiraz's fighting this weekend, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
So,
yeah.
They're going to fight. It's not going to be anytime soon, is it? So I don't know, man. That's the frustration bit, really. Just as a fan, not even take myself out of it because I'm not even in that mix anymore. But just as a fan, I think you want to get these belts active, man.
Is it also important in your career that you aren't waiting around for anyone else? You're making the right decision. You said, if I don't want, I'm not waiting around for Bentley, or I'm not waiting around for, Conway of eliminators and this and that. Yeah. Just using them as an example. Is it important to have control of your career that, I'm calling the shots here, I'm not? Yeah.
Massively, because if I was waiting on that Conway fight ages ago, back in April or whatever, then he got injured anyway, so I'd still be waiting for a fight. I wouldn't end up fighting McGowan, and I'd still be waiting here with no fight, and I'd be no closer to anything. So, in hindsight, it was a great decision not to take that fight. Do you know what I mean? And it wasn't because like I'd scared of fighting anyone. I was just sick of doing stuff, and I've done them things. And for the board to say, "Well, you got to have one more eliminator," I just thought, forget this. Probably another eliminator after that, but no, my luck. So, just move on. If I fight for anything like an international belt or whatever, I was just happy just to. I was like I said, I wanted to progress. I was getting a bit bored of the English title, to be fair, looking at it. So, yeah, but I'm happy now. I'm in a good place.
And you look at now, you have like I said, you were sort of fighting on the Stormhorn to start, but now you have the push of Sky and Boxer. Is this now a promotional deal for you, or is it just sort of fight by fight contract?
I don't know either, to be fair. I just let my manager sort it out. But someone sent me a picture of theirs on their website as one of their boxers, so I'm not sure, to be honest. But I know I've definitely got a fight with them next. I know that. But as long as I keep winning, they keep having me on, wouldn't they? And I think even like like your 3-4 fight deals or whatever, I'm pretty sure they can get scrapped as well if you start losing. There's like clauses in them, isn't there? So I'm happy just to keep winning. If I keep winning, I keep fighting. Do you know what I mean? So that's a bit of incentive for me.
But is it nice to keep getting that push on a big broadcast? It's what everyone really wants in a way. So yourself having it must be a nice feeling as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it sounds a bit biased because I've been on Sky, but I think that's the biggest one for me anyway. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, there's great shows. I was at the Birmingham show, it was great under the phone and stuff. I've been to, like I said, Liam's up in Telford on BT, TNT, whatever it is. But I think Sky's the biggest platform for me anyway, and I think you get most eyes on it as well. And there's great fights being made. I know some people get a lot of stick, but I think Buatsi and Azeez as well. I can't wait for that fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even know how to pick a winner or whatever, but it's a great fight. And you got Chamberlain low out on the undercard, and you got Eubank Smith. Been a great end of the year, I think, for Sky. So it's just good for boxing. I think a lot of people moan about, I don't know, certain YouTubers or whatever putting bad light on boxing, but there's a lot of good stuff as well. Now we had Crawford and Spence and New Eiffelt, and these things get kind of overshadowed because of some of the nonsense and that. Do you know what I mean? But I think boxing's booming personally.
Yeah, and as you saying that, you said you just mentioned Crawford Spence there, and I suppose for me this is sort of a different question, but when we see that boxing is going well, and you said you think it's in a good place, everyone takes so much momentum from that, and especially I'm sure someone like yourself, when you watch sort of Crawford put in a performance like he did against Errol Spence, that just motivates anyone to do better.
Of course, man, but that's like another level elite in it. Do you know what I mean? As much as I back myself, I don't think I'd be on them Crawford's level. He's like a generational talent, man. He's unreal, and I did think he beat Spence, but not that easily. Do you know what I mean? What a performance, man! What a performance!
Definitely. And you said there about the potential Signani fight. Would the Buatsi Azeez undercard be ideal for you? Then you mentioned how good of a fight that was.
I'd love to be on the undercard. You know what I mean? O2 Arena and stuff. I'd love to be on there, but maybe if you can get involved, talk to Ben Shaw, must ask me to put me on. Give him a nudge or something, because I'm just waiting on the date really. I think the York Hall one's full in it, so that's the next one. I'm guessing so. So hopefully, Ben, if you're watching this, put me on, man. Put me on.
I'll be sending that to him. Tyler, I just want to say thank you for your time. Really appreciate catching up with you, and I always appreciate the nice words, mate. It means a lot.
Yeah, nice one, man. Thank you.
Man, thank you, mate. Cheers for that.